Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to today's video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the first week to 10 days of July in today's video. I think we'll be getting some more thunderstorms coming up later next week. Got some quite interesting weather possibly coming up later next week. Anyway, before I get on with the video, just want to talk about the advertisement. That usually be a video ad overlaying my web videos at GavsWeatherVids.com. Please play those video ads. I know you do play them, but keep playing them because you'll be supporting GavsWeatherVids.com if you do that. So the first thing we want to look at, as we usually do with these using videos, is the 500 millibar height anomaly charts, and we've got the ECMWF here on the left. The GFS is on the right. We'll have a look at the GFS in a moment. 500 millibars, 8,000 feet. You probably know this by now anyway, but I've got to explain it for anybody that's watching the video for the first time. 500 millibars, 18,000 feet is an important area in the atmosphere because that's where we get the high pressure and the low pressure areas developing. It's as those high pressure, low pressure areas are moved around by the jet stream running above that really gives us weather. Now, the anomaly charts are showing temperature actually at 500 millibars. When we extrapolate those temperatures to pressure, so where we've got above average temperatures, above average heights at 500 millibars, we've got these orange and red colours. That's where we've got tending to be getting high pressure. And the blue colours here indicating below average heights, below average temperature at 18,000 feet. And that's where we're likely to be seeing low pressure. Now, not quite as simple as that, but that's basically all you need to know with these charts, really. So what we're looking at here is for 8 to 10 days, the anomaly for 8 to 10 days time at 500 millibars. We can see that the ECMWF model wants to have a big positive anomaly to the west and the northwest of the British Isles. So that's indicating quite a big area of high pressure setting up out to the west of the country. Now, this elongation in the lines here is quite important. I think it will be quite important because this is indicating the chance of a cut-off low developing across the south and to the south of the country. Now, a cut-off low at this time of year could well mean the risk of heavy, slow-moving showers and maybe even some thunderstorms as well. Now, we have a look at the GFS height anomaly chart and we'll see what that's showing. Well, actually it's showing a very similar setup, really. In fact, it's got even more area of above average heights there to the north and to the west of the British Isles. So that's going for quite a big blocking feature, really, setting up from the Atlantic, stretching to the north of Scotland through Iceland and then out towards Scandinavia and on in towards western Russia. This is quite a big positive anomaly there. But what's interesting here is that again we've got this elongation in the lines here, and this is again, I think, indicating that we are seeing the risk, or certainly are seeing the possibility of a cut-off low forming underneath this high pressure. Now, once that low pressure becomes cut off, depending on where it sets up, it could well give some very slow moving and heavy thundery showers or thunderstorms at this time of the year. But the best of the weather would be closest to this area of high pressure, and that's really to the north of the country. Now, having a look at the GFS ensembles, and what we look at here is the temperature in the temperature lines here in the middle of the chart, and the precipitation spikes at the bottom of the chart. So the red line here is where the temperature should be for the time of year, the thick red line. That's where the temperature should be in the upper atmosphere. We're actually going a bit below average, we can see with these lines, but we're going below that red line, so temperatures are going below normal over the weekend for the start of next week. That's with the low pressure that we've got across the country at the moment. And then temperatures will pick up a bit next week, getting back up towards the seasonal norm, but certainly not going well above average. And there's no real indication on this ensemble that temperatures are going to be shooting up well above average, so I don't think we're going to see temperatures in the foreseeable future getting as hot as they was yesterday and the day before. Now, the precipitation spikes are quite interesting. We've got a lot of spikes here next week, and that, I think, is indicating a chance of quite a bit of rain next week. And with temperatures just around the seasonal average, it could be quite a wet and chilly spell, really, for the start of July across many parts of the country. This ensemble is Manchester. That's actually a good representation for central parts of the country. And I think some of these spikes could actually be quite thundering. So having a look at the temperature anomaly for the next week, Friday the 29th of June to Friday the 6th of July, we see we've actually got temperatures at around the seasonal average. The scale is here. The pale blue colours are actually temperatures around normal to just below. The pale pink colours are temperatures around normal to just above. We can see that really we've got the pale blue or pale pinks across the country. So temperatures around average, maybe a bit below in the south, maybe very slightly above in the north, but really temperatures are around the seasonal norm. To follow the really hot weather, you have to go to the east of Europe. That's where we've got the bright red colours. That's where the highest of the temperatures are. For precipitation anomaly for the next week, again Friday the 29th of June, Friday the 6th of July. This is showing above average precipitation to the north and near normal precipitation to the south. Now I think this is being skewered a little bit by the weather at the moment, the low pressure we've got at the moment. I think once we get into next week itself, what we're going to find, if anything, is drier weather for the north and wetter weather for the south. And the reason why is evident on these charts as we run through them. So this is the GFS forecast charts for next week. This starts off at Tuesday the 3rd of July. I've got low pressure coming in on Tuesday. That'll be bringing a band of rain across the country and it'll be quite cool as well. But I want you to keep an eye on this low pressure becoming centred over Ireland as we run through the rest of these charts. And again, keep an eye to the north of Scotland on this ridge of high pressure that's developing. Because as we run through this, we do see that low pressure becoming very slack there across Ireland, and really wet pressure is weak across most of Ireland, England and Wales. And notice at the same time high pressure is building to the north. So what's happening is that high pressure is building to the north of Scotland and low pressure is becoming cut off underneath. Now that low pressure is going to have very slack gradients with it. We can see that we've hardly got an isobar there showing up across many parts of the country. So any showers that form next week are going to be very heavy and very slow moving. And as we get through to Sunday the 8th of July, so this is nearly 10 days away, that low pressure is still really meandering around over the country. It's actually slightly to the east of the country now, and we've still got the ridge there to the north, to the northwest, and forming over Scandinavia as well. Now this, of course, Sunday the 8th of July is the Wimbledon final day, and it's also the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, so the weather will be quite important this weekend, big sporting weekend. And I think if this is right, we are looking at quite a lot of heavy, slow-moving, thundery showers or thunderstorms across many parts of the country. The ECMWF model for Tuesday the 3rd of July, again we've got that low pressure coming in off the Atlantic, so this will be bringing a band of more general rain across the country at the start of next week, I think. But again, I want you to keep an eye on this low pressure as we run through these charts. There's the low pressure there across Ireland, and as we go further on through into Thursday the 5th of July, that low pressure is really centred across these southern parts. We've got the ridge forming to the north and the northwest again. The low pressure is becoming cut off underneath. Again, this is a very good signal for very slow moving heavy showers and thunderstorms, particularly for England and Wales, less so for Scotland because we've got this ridge building to the north. And going through to Friday the 6th of July, so this is a week's time, we've got that low pressure still centred just to the south of the country, the ridge building to the north. So again, the signal there is for heavy, slow moving thundery showers, thunderstorms for England and Wales, mainly dry weather up over Scotland. And then going out 10 days ahead, this is into the 9th of July, so this is a good period into July now. It's quite a bit into July, and that low pressure is to the east of the country, high pressure is to the west. We're bringing down this northerly wind. It's probably showery, and it certainly is quite cool as well. And then finally having a look at the Canadian model, the GEM model. Again, it's a very similar situation for Tuesday, that low pressure coming in off the Atlantic, bringing more general rain. And then that low pressure becomes cut off to the south of the country, very slack gradients there, so we'll would be expecting very heavy showers, slow moving showers, thunderstorms as well. Could be violent thunderstorms actually with this across England and Wales, even though temperatures won't be particularly exciting. To the north we've got that ridge again building across the north of Scotland, so the driest weather will be in the north later next week. The thundery weather will be in the south, and to Thursday again that low pressure is there to the south, the ridge to the north, and then going further out a week's time the low pressure is still there, quite a feature there across England and Wales. That will be bringing maybe even longer spells of thundery rain to these southern areas, but driest weather always to the north with that ridge. And then finally, 10 days away, Monday the 9th, we end the period with the Canadian model, and that low pressure, we've got an area of low pressure actually beginning to develop then, and that's bringing longer spells of rain. But I think that's a bit speculative. The Canadian isn't that good once you get out more than a week, so I think you have to be careful about taking that too seriously. Anyway, the general situation with all of this is that I think next week we are looking at temperatures no better than average, probably cool to average really across many parts of the country, and it's looking like the driest weather will probably tend to be more towards the north, if anything, with England and Wales getting the greatest risk of the heavy showers. Certainly there could be some thunderstorms as well, I think, later next week across England and Wales. So it probably haven't done with the thunder. Of course, had very violent thunderstorms yesterday, tornadoes, hail, golf ball size hail, you name it, it was happening yesterday. We may get a bit more of that later next week, and the focus perhaps next week will be more for the south. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Come back tomorrow. I'll be doing the week ahead forecast, a detailed week ahead forecast, so come back for that. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.